Hello, Internet. Welcome to another Facebook Live video episode. This time we're going to talk about parenting in a digital world. Recently, I attended a seminar about the digital child. The speaker there was Father Johnny Go, and he gave some tips or he gave some information regarding parenting in a digital world. And some of these stories he shared there can be also applied in the workplace. So, whether you are a parent or you're a boss, an immediate superior, you can apply some of these insights and tips in your home and in your workplace. Okay, let's begin. Tip number one, you have to accept that virtual equals reality. Virtual equals reality, meaning you cannot separate anymore a virtual life from a real life. The way people, whether they're your children or your office mates, behave in the virtual world, that's an extension of their real world. Hindi mo na mahihiwala yan. So, virtual equals reality. Tip number two, you should know the term phubbing. Phubbing, P-H-U-B-B-I-N-G, excuse me. Phubbing, P-H there refers to the phone, and the U-B-B-I-N-G, phubbing, is part of the word snubbing. Nai-snub ka. So when someone ignores you because they're busy looking at their phone, that is called phubbing. Now, for people of my age, nakakainis yun. So when you see someone, usually a younger person, looking at their phone while you're talking to them, whether that person's your child or an office mate, you're giving instructions, hindi ka pinapansin, they are phubbing you. Ini-snub ka on their phone. And for people of my age, my generation, nakakainis yun. But for people of their generation, the millennials, it is perfectly acceptable. Okay? So paano yan? You have two worlds which are clashing. The older world na dapat tinitinan mo ako, dapat wag kang bastos. And the younger world na chill ka lang, hindi naman kabastusan yan. Normal yan because when they go out with their friends, they are used to seeing their friends phub them. Normal lang, busy siya sa phone niya, okay lang, chill, ano bang problema? So, knowing that, if you look at the last item here, the main takeaway of Father Johnny Go in that seminar is to always save the relationship. It is better to have a good relationship than to be right because our two worlds are completely different. You can insist na, pwede ba wag mong tingnan yung phone mo? Pwede mo siyang pagalitan, but that might destroy the relationship. Therefore, as a parent, or as a boss, or as an immediate superior, you have to be creative in finding ways to get your message across without or in a way that still saves the relationship. Okay? So by understanding the way people think, by looking at both sides of the coin, hindi ka masyado ma-high blood. Kasi tatanggapin mo na ganun yung kanilang pananaw, ganun yung kanilang attitude. You cannot force people to meet your standards if your standard is dapat kapag kausap ka, nakatingin sa tao, hindi nakatingin sa phone. So which means if you're a parent, you also have to examine yourself. How are you behaving in terms of the way you use your gadget? When I look around, I see people who are extremely reliant on our smartphones. What do you do with your smartphone? You read email, you compose email, of course, you watch videos, nag-Netflix ka. You use your smartphone for Grab to get around, right? You use your smartphone to buy your movie tickets, to check out schedules, to book your airline tickets. You are completely dependent on your phone and probably you spend 4 to 6 hours each day on your phone. So you're used to doing this, which means when you're speaking with your children, sometimes when they are trying to share a story with you, sometimes you yourself are phubbing them. So don't freak out so much if you see a younger person disrespect you by phubbing you because most likely you've been doing it, and keep in mind that that younger person is not deliberately out to disrespect you. Nasanay lang siya sa pag-phub. Okay? The third item here, WeSure. WeSure is a combination of work and leisure. WeSure. That is happening all over the world. WeSure. People have learned that work can disrupt or interrupt their play or leisure time. At the same time, some people accept that leisure can disrupt or interrupt their work time. Kaya, one time I was walking around the office, nasyak ako. I saw someone playing, well, on their phone, no? Playing some turn-based strategy game during office hours. Kasi lumapit na ako. Nasabi ko, wow, hindi man lang tinago. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin siya sa paglalaro. Sabi ko, wow, this person does not mind that I'm already here. Pero hindi ako nagwala. Sabi ko, ibang klase. And then after a few weeks, I found out that a higher ranking officer sat beside that person and then naglalaro pa rin siya. Parang hindi siya bothered. So, syempre, people of the older generation will say, ano ba naman itong mga millennials? Hindi na nahiya. Laro ng laro. Katabi ko na nga siya. Naglalaro pa during office hours. So, tanong, would you freak out? Some will say, it's okay if that person plays for about 5 or 10 minutes. Pero 1 hour, hindi na siya nahiya. And yesterday, I saw this term nga, leisure. Ganun pala yun. There are some people who will naturally let work invade their leisure time and let leisure time invade their work time. The old model of from this time to this time you work, from this time to this time you play, that's gone. It's a completely different world now. The concept of work-life balance, that's gone. It should be work-life or work-play integration. It will really mix. So, observe, what do you do? Do you spend the entire day answering emails? Or in between, do you get your phone and answer some message in Facebook that's not related to work? If you have experienced that, then you have also experienced leisure, when you are doing personal things during office hours. Talagang ganon. If you try to bear down hard on that employee, you might damage the relationship. So there, no? Cyberbullying. It is more painful online. Now, you might think that cyberbullying is just a case of calling them names or posting embarrassing photos. No. There is another form of cyberbullying which I've heard some parents raise. It involves Viber. Have you ever been part of a Viber group where you post your comments or ask your questions and then no one answers your questions, no one reacts to your comments? Para bang ini-ignore ka? According to Father Johnny Go, when some parent asked him, is that a form of cyberbullying? Yes, it is a form of cyberbullying. So you have to find the ways to help the person deal with the fact that they were ignored online, which is more painful than bullying in the real world, because in terms of cyberbullying, more people are aware, more people can see na binubully ka. You have to talk to your children or talk to your teammates if ever they experience cases where they're posting in a group and then they are ignored. Okay? You have to connect with them, communicate, strengthen your relationship so that no matter what painful things happen online, you can still trust that in the end, your child or your teammate will be okay. And you can do that if you strengthen the relationship. Now, what's the thing about amputation? Amputation, pag naputulan ka ng kamay, a parent asked, is it okay for me to confiscate the gadget of my child, to switch off Wi-Fi, to ban my child from using Facebook or other social media platforms? And according to Father Johnny Go, it is a form of amputation. Parang pinutulan mo na ng kamay yung tao. It's very painful to tell a person who is used to social media na, oh, tama na yan, tigil na yan, in a harsh way. Now, syempre, as a parent or as an employer or as a boss, you have to find a creative way to communicate. Like you can dialogue, no? So as thinking, wow, kailan pa ba ng pa-dialogue pa? Nung panahon ko, when your parent says, gawin mo to, susunod ka na lang. That old model is gone. Now, the style is, there's dialogue, there's peaceful, soft-spoken discussion. What do you think? Ganon, no? With young people, because the main goal is this one. to save the relationship. The moment taasan mo yan ng boses, sigawan mo, tapos noon you harshly take away their phones, you smash their phones, anything that takes away their ability to communicate with their peers, their friends, or classmates, delikado yan. If your actions will destroy the relationship, then it is not worth it. Getting people to stop going on social media will not be worth it if it will affect your relationship. So what can you do? You can discuss with your child or with your teammates the issue of social media, and it is this: screen time. People who spend too much time in front of their mobile device screens experience both physical and emotional negative effects. So if you find yourself and your teammates or your child spending more than 4 hours a day in front of your phone or their phone, that will have a physical and emotional negative effect on their lives. So how do you talk to them? Diskarte mo na yun. You have to find a way, you have to choose your words so that they don't feel that you are simply lecturing them. Now, one approach could be, why don't you make a Facebook Live video? That way, you don't corner them and say, uy, alika, usap tayo, and then lecture. No, you can simply post a Facebook Live video, and then if they stumble upon the video, and then they choose to watch it until the end, and then that what the result is, that person had a choice. That person had full control on whether or not they wanted to listen to you. They did not feel boxed in. In that approach, you do not damage the relationship kasi hindi mo naman siya masyadong pinapagalitan. Okay, so remember, nasyak ako dun eh. Amputation, confiscation pala of the mobile device makes them experience a loss of self. Kasi if you look at these students today, they discuss their homework, they discuss their projects, and what to wear tomorrow, what uniform to wear tomorrow, what materials to bring the following day. They discuss that using Viber, using Messenger, and sometimes they will discuss that at 12 midnight. Do you allow your child to study at 12 midnight? If yes, then expect the we sure part. Now, they're not just purely studying. Of course, sometimes they still engage in social communication at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. You can talk to them and explain to them the issues of screen time, and then let that sink into them. Pero if it doesn't sink in, huwag ka naman magwawala. Kasi nga, this is the message that Father Johnny Go kept harping on. You have to save the relationship. So, to wrap up, in summary, when it comes to parenting or bossing in a digital world, always remember that what happens in the virtual world has an important and significant impact in the real or physical world. Therefore, you have to focus on saving the relationship as you simultaneously help your child or your teammates recognize the dangers of too much screen time. And lastly, remember that people's virtual, leisure, and work lives are so integrated that you have to be careful about removing one of those because it can result in feelings of social amputation, which leads to extreme pain, which can lead to a ruined relationship. Okay? So as for me, I'm just going to talk to my child or to my office mates in a gentle manner. Try to present the information without them feeling na nililecturean ko sila. Maybe I can use stories. I can tell them about what happened here. I'll tell them the story of Father Johnny Go and the experiences. And then let them receive that in a calm manner and trust that in the long run, they will be okay. So thank you for joining us in today's Facebook Live video. May you become a better parent, teammate, boss out there. Have a great Sunday and a great week ahead. Thanks for watching. Bye.